Today we're driving the all-new 2025 Chevrolet Equinox RS all-wheel drive. This starts at $35,000. As tested, this is $38,875 with a couple of options. It's rated for 26 miles to the gallon combined. We have a 1.5-liter turbocharged four-cylinder that makes 175 horsepower and 203 pound-feet of torque. That engine is made into an 8-speed automatic transmission. We've got a new interior, exterior, a very nice space to spend time in this new Equinox. This is Chevrolet's second best-selling vehicle, their best-selling SUV. We spent some time later last year walking you guys around this in studio. This is the first time I've had a chance to drive it. I've spent all week with it. Let's walk you guys around it, talk about what it's been like to live with, and give you guys some driving impressions on this 2025 Equinox RS. This SUV is painted in radiant red Tintcoat, which is a very nice looking color on this Equinox. We have 19-inch wheels. This RS trim is supposed to be a little bit sportier. There's also an active trim with ruggedized all-terrain tires. We have a roof rack. Overall, pleasing design. Looks good inside and out. Nice packaging inside. Good amount of cargo space in the back, and rear seat legroom is quite good as well. Moving some wheels around earlier this week. You do get a compact spare tire underneath this panel right here. Power tailgate. Capless filler. And look at some of these red and blue accents on these seats. Nice trimming here. Easy access to your ISOFIX points. There you go. Completely flat floor back here, which is very impressive for an ICE vehicle. Lots of room underneath that front seat to put my legs, stretch out. I'm 5'10", this is my driving position, and I'm very comfortable on the back of this Equinox. You can get heated rear seats. Very nice. Heated and ventilated seats are now standard on the Equinox. Overall, this interior space gets pretty high marks after living with it this week. It's an easy vehicle to drive and live with. Ergonomics are really nice. We've got lots of physical controls everywhere, and everything seems to be placed well. There's good storage here. The only complaint that I have is that there is a lot of gloss black plastic, which not only doesn't look very good after a few days of driving, it just kind of gets dusty and grimy, but it also reflects sunlight on a bright sunny day, which can be a little bit irritating. Let's take a look under the hood at this 1.5-liter turbo. One of these slower new vehicles that I've driven recently. Not a lot of power here. Enough power paired with this 8-speed automatic, and this is all-wheel drive, though it is a switchable all-wheel drive system. It defaults to being in front-wheel drive, and you have to kind of manually put it in all-wheel drive yourself if you're in the snow or off-road or in inclement weather. So something to note there. This weighs around 3,800 pounds, so it's not light, and being pushed around with 175 horsepower doesn't make it the most sporty driving experience. But again, I always like to say there are no slow cars, just slow drivers, and you can hustle this thing around a little bit if you're so inclined. It's just that you do have to be patient with your merges on the highway. It could be a challenge to pass slower vehicles on back roads. So, just something to take into account, that this is a little bit underpowered compared to a lot of other vehicles in this class. We have a new column shifter for the 2025 model year. This is honestly one of my favorite things in this vehicle. It frees up some space here in the center console for better storage, and it's just really easy to use. Pull to put it in neutral, down to drive, up into reverse, push the side button to put it to park. It all works great. This new Equinox has Chevrolet's Google-based infotainment. It's quick to respond. Wireless CarPlay works well. It actually has CarPlay, which is fantastic. Let's see, sound system is decent in this. We've got a climate menu here, even though you've got physical controls down there. Heated ventilated seats, heated steering wheel. A couple different views here in your gauge cluster. You can see your map. Of course, Google Maps is your native navigation, which is pretty awesome. And There's kind of a more minimalist display that focuses on your driving assistance, your speedometer, speed limit, temperature, just the bare necessities. And then this is what I've been driving with this week with Attack. I like that you actually get the option to have CarPlay and Android Auto in this. Yes, you have Waze and Spotify as native applications in the infotainment along with Google News and some other things, but ultimately it's good to have that flexibility. Only thing I feel like this car is missing is a physical button for the camera. When you're parking, sometimes pulling up, I guess I just put myself into reverse and then drive to see kind of how close I am to other vehicles around me or curbs, etc. Here's your wireless charging element. Works really well this week. You just kind of slot your phone in there. Nice storage right here. A couple USB ports, big cup holders, water bottle holders, and everything is lined with a grippy rubberized material on the bottom so it doesn't rattle around. Really deep center console storage there. Seats are soft, seats are comfortable, no sunroof or anything. There's your glove box, good size to that. Kind of this blocky, interesting material here on the dash. This use of red over here is kind of interesting on these vents. Again, high gloss. Here's your all-wheel drive button. Auto hold, turn off auto stop start right there. Physical gauge cluster dimmer right there, and then your parking brake. Good amount of storage down here in the door panels too, and a button to pop the tailgate. We get 2 seat memory settings. Wiper controls are here on the left stock. Cruise control, adaptive. Your visors slide. Got a mirror in there. Place to put your sunglasses right here. And a digital rear view mirror. As far as feature content, this is pretty well equipped. Let's head out and take it for a drive. Steering wheel is really thick on this Equinox. It almost feels like an old BMW M2 or something. I'd say it's a little bit too thick. It's kind of hard to wrap my whole hand around it, honestly, but it works. The stitching is nice. The interior quality, the materials, everything feels pretty typical GM here, if not a little bit nicer for this 2025 Equinox. Savage Geese here trying to stop this video in its tracks in an aggressive manner. That's okay. On this particular car, some of the stitching is coming apart on the back of the wheel. So the leather, the wrap, the vinyl wrap here is kind of just pulling off. It's probably a quality control issue that could be fixed via warranty. No rattles in this interior. Everything seems to be buttoned together pretty well. Let's see what this 1.5 turbo sounds like. Pulls pretty well at higher revs. No sport mode or anything like that. Handling is good. Traction control limiting us there, coming out of that corner. All the controls are really light in this Equinox, from the turn signal to the steering to the accelerator and braking pedals. You really got to stress this engine to get some power out of it on the highway. There just isn't a lot of horsepower and torque here. But again, if you just go everywhere flat out, you can definitely drive a little bit faster in this Equinox. Sitting here on the highway, if you already have your cruise control enabled, like the system is on, you don't have to re-enable it every time you start up the vehicle. You can just set your speed, which is great. Adaptive cruise works pretty well this week. A couple instances where a car was pulling over and it was still braking for the vehicle in the other lane. But overall, it's been a nice system to live with. You have 3 following distance settings with your gap adjust. Nice big buttons on the steering wheel. Not too much going on. Easy vehicle to use and live with. Brakes feel nice. I mean, you know, all these crossovers kind of drive about the same, perform about the same. these days. This is probably one of the less sporty offerings in the segment, but I don't think people drive an Equinox for it to be sporty. Yes, this RS trim has nicer wheels and cool interior bits and some nice looking paint, but ultimately, this isn't going to be your sporty variant. It's just well equipped. It's good size. This is kind of that Goldilocks perfect size for an SUV in this class. It's big enough to put stuff and people in comfortably. There's tons of room in the back seat. It's really well packaged. And I mean, this is the best driving Equinox we've ever had. It's quite nice on the road. It's a nice evolution of what we've come to kind of expect from GM in terms of driving experience. There aren't any major gotchas or complaints that I have with this. The tech is well integrated. It's worked well this week. No bugs or issues. The sound system here is decent. There's a little bit of road noise driving this around. I found that earlier this week it can be a bit challenging to talk on the phone above 75, 80 miles an hour. Just a little bit of wind noise, road noise. Let's park this Equinox here. Good camera system. Nice high resolution displays. And you've got a few options here. Side views. 360 cam. Turn your lines on and off. Cool. Let's walk you guys around this one more time, and maybe we'll do a quick sound system test. Ooh, tires. Set of Continentals. Nice tires on this Equinox. These are 235/55 R19s, not the optional 20s, which I appreciate here in Michigan. It's nice to have some sidewall on your crossover. All right, so this week, summing up the Equinox. Nice SUV to live with. Looks good, drives about how you'd expect a vehicle from Chevrolet to drive in this class. Nothing revolutionary, just evolutionary. It's an easy vehicle to use and live with. This top trim, I think, is pretty well priced for what you're getting, and I would be more inclined to maybe choose the active trim with the rugged all-terrain tires, though you probably wouldn't see as good road manners with that Equinox. Let's hop back inside, and we'll hear what the sound system is like. Got a volume knob right here, and behind the steering wheel. challenging intersection on Sundays with that flashing red. Good torque off the line. Let's put it in all-wheel drive, see what that does. There we go. Oh, took a minute to engage. I will say this 1.5 liter Ecotec is very quiet. It really doesn't make much noise at all unless if you're really hustling it. Pretty much able to get all the features I want here out of my mid-size crossover for under 40 grand. I can see why this is such a good seller for Chevrolet. It just needs about another 20 horsepower or so. I don't think this engine feels stressed when you're just driving it around normally, but when you do start to want to merge or pass in this car, it just feels a little bit lackluster and brings down the driving experience a notch. Everything else in here is pretty nice. I'd say, you know, the engine, the power levels is definitely the weakest link here. All right, well, those are my thoughts on the 2025 Chevrolet Equinox RS all-wheel drive. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.